Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Union 0430, episode 25. You have all of us tonight and just us. No special guests tonight. We do have a couple in the hopper, but they are out of state and busy right now. So we'll leave that little tidbit for you to look forward for another show. As usual, you got the 5 retro breaks here with you tonight. We've got Phil down in the Dirty Schwa, Ryan just outside of Nova Scotia's capital, drinking some Toller, Dave up in Kincardine, and Mark just outside the nation's capital. Fellas, and with his trusty, rusty Huron game calls mug. Fellas, man, I got to start this off by saying I wish we could air the stuff that we talk about before we hit the record button, because there's a whole lot of people that gets discussed before we hit record, because
just a bunch of gossip bags.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like a fucking, we're like a hair salon before this fucking thing starts. Yeah. Oh, did you hear what happened this week?
Yeah, and we're pretty much spread out far enough that if you think you're going to get away with something, one of us hears about it, and it's discussed at length here. And you're probably called a douchebag because of it. So stop being a douchebag. So I'm going to start off this right into it, just because it's something came up last week. Dave did a ton of work and got us authorized dealers of kicks, choke tubes, done a ton of work. We put it out there, and for everybody, and even for people that don't know, like, we really are a very, very small business where Dave and I have regular 9 to 5 Monday to Friday jobs, and this is what we do on our off time. So what I really need you to understand is that I love all of you. I appreciate all of you, but I cannot give all of you a deal. I can't give all of you cost. So it's frustrating when you tell me, hey, I'm going to order this, or I'm going to get this, or you write me and say, this is an idea I think you should run with, and then we run with it, and then you don't show up, or you don't want to pay because we're not giving it to you at cost. Sort of makes me upset. But everybody talks about that they want to support local, and they want to support Canadian, or not support the big box stores. And I'd love to hear Pat Heinrich's view on this too, because I'm sure he gets it all day, every day. But everybody's got good intentions, but when it comes to, if it's going to save them $10, $10 is $10, I guess, right? So it's a case of beer or a 6-pack of beer, I guess, not a case of beer anymore. But anyways, sort of kind of pisses me off when people say that, oh yeah, I'm all in, I'm in whatever you do, but then they don't show up when you dump money into an idea that they came up with.
We should start doing like a section on this show. You know what really grinds my gears?
I think we already do that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we kind of. Remember the other day I wanted to do the one douchebag of the week.
Hey Phil, what really grinds your gears?
We only have an hour.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
Talk about the pictures, Phil.
I was going to say, how about Dave's lack of a beard?
You know what?
Lack of a what?
Beard.
You missed.
How'd you even notice?
I didn't even have one to start with. It was fucking
Yeah.
peach fuzz and pubic hair, pretty much.
Got the
Like,
cat to
there was
lick it
nothing
off.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even Sidney Crosby was making fun of him.
Yeah.
Philly, what about those pictures, bud? I know that was getting on your nerves a little bit. You and Ryan were.
Like, I don't know, like, if it's just like the flavor of the week lately or what, but like, there's been an absolute grotesque level of disrespectful photos that have been posted on social media, like in the last like week or two. Like, guys showing pictures of birds blown apart. There was one. This grinds me on two accounts. First off, some clown takes a can of White Claw and chops out the center part, so like the White Claw logo, and puts that on a goose as like a neck collar. First off, friends don't let friends fucking drink White Claw. And secondly, like, what is going through your mind? Like, some of the things, like, and the big one is like people jamming birds' beaks down the barrels of shotguns, stuffing shit in their mouth. Like, for the love of Christ, have like an ounce of fucking respect for the animal that you harvest. Like I said, we only have an hour, so I'll shorten it up.
No, it's good points. Really good points.
Yes, well done.
And to go on to that, like,
Shallow and pedantic.
posting these pictures of birds with their heads blown off or really bad like that, like, it just gives ammunition for the people that are totally against our sport and at the end of the day, they're going to be against us, and their opinions will be voiced louder because there's way more of them than there are of us here.
Yeah,
And
people
where do you
need
think they get their media content from? The idiot hunters. That's what they use to, spell off reviews and all this other nonsense. It's not like, for the love of Christ, we are our own worst enemy.
Big time.
Day in,
It's true.
we fuel our own fire.
As waterfowlers, there's not a lot of us in Canada, especially north of the border. There's millions in the States. There's only, I don't know, 50,000 of us in Canada. Who knows, or less? I don't know. But
there's more duck hunters in Arkansas than there is in Canada.
yeah, for sure, right? Like, but 60% of the stamp spot in Canada are probably from Americans coming up to hunt here. So, one, you got to be, okay, first and foremost, my opinion, you got to respect the game. Don't disrespect the animal. I know Mark was talking at one point about in Africa how they've prepped the game for a photo like that, how pristine it is. Respect what you've killed, at least, right? And two, we're in the business of recruitment. We don't, assholes are not wanted. I get it. Like, there's a certain maturity level to this, I guess, perhaps. And there's some guys who get excited over that kind of stuff. I know when I first started waterfowl hunting, when I was waterfowl hunting and social media came out, I was like, do I post these piles of dead birds? Like, do I, is this like a moral dilemma or something? But I was like, no. A buddy of mine who's an avid deer hunter was like, man, be proud to be an outdoorsman. This is part of the process. He's like, but if me and Mark did a batch of sausages, we posted that too, because that's, people always wonder, well, what do you do? Like, I've talked to family members who don't hunt, and they're like, well, what do you do with all those geese you post on your Instagram, your social media? Like, well, we make sausages, we make jerky. So you got to respect the game. And the two examples of what Phil just talked about, that's not doing that, and it's not doing us waterfowlers any favor in the recruiting department.
So I'm not playing devil's advocate here. I'm just gonna run with another angle on this. Like, the process of harvesting wild game is not always pretty. We all know it. You're gonna have a certain amount of gore and a certain amount of stuff that happens in situations that pop up while you're hunting that if you weren't used to it or weren't prepared for it, is definitely would have a certain shock value for people who don't do it, right? At the same time, we're willing to do our own dirty work. We go out, we harvest our own food, whether it's waterfowl, whether it's deer, whether it's bear, turkey, whatever. We go do our own dirty work, and I'm fully prepared, willing, and capable to experience everything that comes with that. Yes, something's going to happen. I could, I'll say it. Yes, I have blown the head off a bird, like more than once. It's not pretty. It's pretty gory, right? But you're not going to take it. And I personally wouldn't take that and make a public post with it. I might show one of you guys and say, hey, look what happened, in a personal message, right? Which is fine. I don't think you guys would object to that. But the actual, to take it and make a public post on it, that's not my thing, right?
I know.
In the place, right?
Yeah, go for it, Dave.
My favorite pictures are the ones where the guy harvests a beautiful bird and they're holding it up and they're showing the colors in its wings and they're showing the color. And you know what? Every time my son shoots a new species, that's what I'm taking a picture like that, whether I post it or not. Those, I don't know. That's just my favorite picture, right?
Now, yeah, and I know now there's people listening to this and you're just seething and you're stomping your feet and you're saying, but we're killers, we're hunters, we're outdoorsmen, we're rough and we're tough. And yeah, 100%. If that's how you perceive yourself as a, or you know, I don't want this to come across the wrong way, but if you perceive yourself as a man and a man that kills his own food and all of the things with harvesting that animal that comes with it, yes, you are a man. I get it. And you're tough and you're mean and you're a hunter and you're an outdoorsman. And we're not taking any of that away. That's not what we're talking about. The Punisher Waterfowl brand was started to be a, for lack of a better term, a hardcore brand. But you can still be respectful of the game that you're chasing. And I think that's the point that everybody's getting. Listen, I am the biggest fan of the hardest hunt that I can do is the one that I'm going to enjoy the most. The one when the rain is coming in sideways and I got to walk a mile and it's just gross and you got to work like a dog. That's my idea of working hard for that game. You still got to show some respect to it. And I think that's what we're trying to get across here. If I'm wrong, fellas, tell me to sum up for sure.
Agree.
Intermission time.
Hydration break.
Shallow and pedantic.
This episode brought to you by Bird Dog and
Bird Dog and Appleton Estates. Fine rum.
Still looking for the sponsorship, are you?
You know what? Whatever, man. Just share the post. That's it. Just share the post. I don't even need a sponsorship. Just show me some love. Show me some love. That's all we want.
We got to plug Tetley at some point too, then, depending on all the members of this.
Earl Grey.
Oh, Barry, that's right. Yeah.
Barry's
Earl.
tea.
Barry's
Earl
tea.
Grey.
Nothing wrong with Earl Grey.
Are you Earl Grey or are you an orange Pico?
I like the Earl Grey.
Has its place.
As you were.
I'm probably too young to understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, look at that baby
Like
face.
that?
Yeah, look at him.
You get puberty, Dave.
One day.
Hey fellas, so what's the plan for the weekend? I know, so this is, Wednesday night, you still got a couple days to scout.
I'm hunting tomorrow.
Are you?
Yeah.
You got a hot little.
No, I've got silage corn with probably 400 geese in it. So because of silage, I'll have to A-frame it. The problem is it's just me and Matt Kazera.
Right.
Or he's trying to call somebody, find somebody, but to find somebody on a Thursday is going to be tough.
Yeah.
So
Big time.
it's a lot of geese for two guys, but it's kind of the only show in town right now. So
Really, eh?
yeah. So, but there's ducks there too, which is what I'm more concerned about. So, so we just put her to bed there a little while ago and got home and jumped on the podcast. So
Awesome.
that's the plan for the morning. So
Mark, you coming down here on Friday, hunting Saturday?
Possibly. Would you be?
I'm okay with
later.
whatever.
We'll discuss later.
I don't care whatever you want to do. I'm getting a new truck, so and
When's
my
that
truck. and my truck isn't here yet. So if we're going in the boat, you need to tow it.
But what'd they give you? An exploder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
No trailer hitch.
Mustang.
not a
Well, they
Mustang.
gave me the must. Hey, listen, the look on my kid's face when I showed up to school to pick him up, and that's his favorite car, and I had the top down, buddy. You couldn't beat the smile off his face. He friggin' loved it. He was so happy. So I'll take an exploder for a week if I got the Mustang for 3 days. No
You're
problem.
gonna have the whole Ford lineup driven by the end of the time you get this
Yeah.
truck, man.
Yeah, as long as they don't give me that what's
Focus.
that? The Focus. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Focus.
What are you doing, Dave, the weekend?
We've got to go to the in-laws. I told the old lady, I said, all right, we can go for the weekend, but there's this farm pond, like a man-made pond on this farm that
Yeah.
everyone goes to fish at, but no one's really fishing it now. And I said, if you can get me permission on that to go hunt those geese that are there, we can go for the weekend. And the next day, Stacy's mom called and said, my wife, she called and said, yeah, I got your permission there. You can go hunt it. It's like, oh, I guess I'm coming down there for the weekend.
Hey, that's a good trade-off, man.
So,
Yeah.
That's
Well
a good
done, Dave.
trade-off.
Well done.
yeah, and then that actually sprung into well, have you ever seen this Lake Eugenia? And have you ever gone here? And have you ever looked at this place? And so I went touring around there last time we were up, and it's like, why didn't I know about this before? Like, I would have enjoyed coming here more often. Right? So
Yeah, I would have been up visiting the in-laws more. We shouldn't be dissing the in-laws. They may be listening.
Oh, how many times have I gone to Nova Scotia to stay with my brother or my in-laws to hunt with Ryan?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Ryan's dad.
Mark's mom probably thought he was like, he's the best brother of all time. He's always visiting his brother, especially in the fall. You would just post up in there. We'd be hunting like 4 days in a row.
Philly, what are you doing the weekend, Philly?
what?
Working.
Oh, working.
Oh,
I was out yesterday morning.
you know what? The criminals
Different
don't take the weekends off, buds.
Different kind of hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was out yesterday morning. There was 3 of us hunting. Like there got to be like 1,000 geese, like easily 1,000 birds.
Really?
And they're hopping between a few fields. I got permission on one. Buddy's got permission on another. Another one's a no discharge. And there's 2 snows. 2. Drove by there on my way home from work today. Still there. They didn't die yesterday. I have cell phone photographic evidence that they exist.
Yeah, you showed us. Hey, did you guys see the pictures from Perry Blanky and the boys? They finally got onto the snows. I didn't realize
Yeah, they got their limit.
I didn't realize the White Devils were causing them some headaches, but they certainly got into them yesterday.
They call them white devils for a reason.
Yeah, I can relate.
But no, that's awesome. They smashed them. I think they got their limit, which is what they set out to do.
Yeah,
and that's awesome. That's
it
pretty
is.
sweet. So Perry, I know you listen to this, so good for you, man. We're all happy for you.
I just want to shoot one.
You've never shot one before, Phil?
No.
Hmm.
Yeah, I scouted this field, had it teed up for yesterday, and my buddy even brought out a couple of snow goose full bodies to throw out there, and it was wheat. We're hunting the edge, solid wind, like everything was in a line. Legal light hits, like the birds were doing it juicy. Few birds, like it's a huge wheat field. Few birds land in the center. Few more birds land in the center. Oh shit, here comes the snow geese. They land in the fucking center.
I want to know what it looks like when birds are doing it juicy, because that got me excited when you said that they were doing it juicy.
First flock that came in was like 15 yards, man, like in the pocket. And
Really, eh?
we laid into them and dropped a bunch, and we picked out a few more. But like as the day went on, like said, the field's so massive, like you'd have to put 3 groups of guys out there to hunt it, for crying out loud. And yeah, it was like the magnet was in the center,
Yeah.
and that the birds kept going,
It's pretty
including
amazing,
my.
eh? It's pretty crazy. You know, you talk to fellas, and I guess I said to Phil, you've never shot one, but I only shot one when I was out west. So it's not like I've shot one. I
said you still shot more than me.
Yeah, but it just goes to like, I don't think, I wonder what people gauge, how people gauge if you're a successful hunter, a waterfowler. Like, how do people gauge that? Like, how do people say he's a good waterfowl hunter? Is it species? Like when you can say that you've knocked off fucking all these birds? Is that the mark of a?
I don't think so, because that doesn't mean. I mean, there's lots of guys who have the money. Keyword here, money.
Yeah.
To pay an outfitter or fly to a different geography,
Right.
and hunt a different flyway where certain species are more prevalent, to check that, that hunt 41 list off, right?
Right.
So it doesn't mean but I know guys who, like, I'm from the East Coast, which is not the hottest flyway in North America, FYI. But I know guys around here who they can straight kill birds, and those to me are the guys. If you plop a guy in a different province, wherever, they already know what they need to look for, and they can put you on a hunt. They can find a hunt no matter where you put them in any geographical location, and they're going to put you on a hunt, and you're going to succeed. That's the guy who knows what he's doing in the waterfowl game.
We never. Before I forget, fellas, and because we forgot to do it last week, to the gentleman that runs the heavy equipment here in the Kingston area, who I met at the Camden Lake boat launch, and you recognized my voice when I was talking to your hunting partner. Would love for you to reach out to us and let me know your name. I'd love to sit down and have a chat with you, and probably throw a little bit of swag your way. So please, if you are listening, you told me that you download it and you listen to it while you're working. If you do listen to this, please reach out. You can get me on social media, and please do, because that meant the world to me that you said hi. It was just crazy busy at the boat launch in the morning, and I didn't mean to be rude, but I really wanted to get out at those birds. So please reach out to me, and let's get chatting. Sorry, that just popped in my head, and I really didn't want to forget about it.
Going back to what Ryan's saying, like, I made a big mistake on Monday morning. I've been so busy checking the wind conditions for the boat launch that I was like, okay, the wind's going to be good, the temperature. I didn't check. And we got out there, and I'm like, fuck, I can see teal on the other side of this lake just swimming around having a grand old time. And then I checked the temperature, and it's like 18 degrees out, and nothing was flying. I was like, oh, yeah.
Let's report back to an episode about 15 or so ago when I said, before you go out, check the fucking weather.
Yep.
David.
I checked the rain. I checked the wind. See, the problem is that the weekend before,
whole hemisphere, bro.
Yeah, well, it's just who checks the temperature at this time? Come on.
Yeah. The temperature. I agree with you there, Dave. People don't tend to. Actually, no. I got to disagree with you, because I check the temperature to see how I need to dress next morning. Not so much for the birds, but how I need to dress.
I'm temp wind.
Hey, here's one that we were supposed to talk about a couple weeks ago, and we forgot it. Or
wait, go back to the fucking temperature thing.
He's ramped up now, ladies and gentlemen.
He's got no beard, but he's got lots of fire.
He's got lots of sass.
I'll check the fucking wind to see if I can use the boat launch I want to use. I'll check the rain to see if it's going to storm. but a temperature is not something that's going to keep me from going out. Like I'm going to go out regardless. So that's why I barely check temperature.
Yeah, but if it's 20 degrees, you're gonna wear a t-shirt. If it's
Yeah, but
never
if it's
thought it'd be that
raining,
fucking
you're still
warm.
going to go out if it's raining.
yeah,
Fucking, I made a sugar buddy.
Oh.
yeah.
Just a heads up,
Whoa.
David.
Apparently.
Just a heads up. If there's huge wind and a huge temperature drop, there's
Oh,
excuse me, there's going to be a migration.
Yep.
You got a whole hemisphere.
my big thing lately has been checking the wind because the boat launch I'm using, if it's a south wind, it's not a good boat launch to use. It was.
You need a bigger fucking
I'm pretty
boat.
sure. I'm pretty certain you've got
no.
enough.
I don't know if you get your boat out of this launch now. It is bad.
Bigger boat.
Hey,
Mm.
the 18.5-foot boat. He can fucking get out through that
He can
boat.
put it. He can pound it in anything he wants.
You could dump that thing at full throttle. It's good to go.
Well, when you build a brand new mud motor and you're not sure if she can go full throttle yet.
Yeah,
Only
good
one way
point.
to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well, that was-
I'm pretty certain too. Let's go back to this. You're made of sugar bit. I'm pretty sure you had to take a second mortgage out on the amount of First Light gear you've got in your closet.
Hey,
You
it's
should
nice stuff.
not. You should not have to be worrying about precipitation because if you're wearing the fine equipment built by First Light Hunting, then you've got no problems, buddy.
Oh, I got no problems with rain. I'm more worried about like the thunderstorms. The only thing rain will do for me is where I'm hunting. Like if it's raining really bad, I'll hunt like more of an inland lake than the big lake myself.
For thunderstorms, just stand in the middle of the boat and hold up your shotgun and pray to the thunder gods.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You'll
kill
be
the
fine.
birds. Kill the birds at the same
Be
time.
fine.
Yeah.
Put on your tinfoil helmet.
Fellas, the whole ban topic. We started on it. We wanted to get into it a couple weeks ago, and then we ran out of time. I think it was actually I don't even remember who it was. It was either Rusty or Jeff was on, and we were going to do a little bit of a chat on it, and we just ran out of time and we didn't. And I don't know, but lately I've been hearing about all of these rules when it comes to who gets to keep the band when a band is shot. Now, I was always of the understanding that if you shot the bird, you get to keep the band. But now I'm hearing all kinds of rules that's not the case. And I think there's some friendships being lost here over this piece of
I
metal.
think those rules vary time and place and who you're with, right?
Holy smokes.
Somewhat.
I've been of the
Somewhat.
understanding, like, at least, like, that everyone's different. Like, if you're hunting with me and you shoot a bird, and that bird happens to be, like, unequivocally, like, here comes a single, Damien, fucking shoot it. You shoot the bird, it's got a band. Guess what? It's your fucking band. Like that's how I am. I did a hunt, this was a couple years ago. I had a few buddies come up from Michigan. It was during our late season goose hunt, so 50 birds. So there's 5 of us out. Huge spread, crushing sky pandas like it was going out of style. And like we had a couple birds come in and land, bigger flock working. So the 2 guys, my buddies from Michigan, like these guys are next level goose callers, goose killers, whatever. So my one buddy, he's from here in Ontario. He looks out. He's like, dude, that bird's banded. So my buddies were like, yeah, keep an eye on that bird. So like literally he sits there, he's looking at the side of the A-frame, watching the fucking leg just, as the rest of the birds are working. All right, kill him. So we jump up, we shoot into the flock, and sure enough, my buddy Matt, he kills that bird. Okay, boom, like, that's your band. And I think it was maybe the next volley, we had a pile of birds come in, and we just hammer into them. Well, don't we get 2 more bands out of the flock, right?
Mhm.
And it's hard to say, okay, yeah, you got that one, you got that, whatever. So end of the hunt, okay, Matt, here's your band. You shot that bird. So then we're very much faced that, okay, what do we do with the other 2? So my buddies from Michigan were like, well, Phil, like you put on this amazing hunt. You should get one. Okay. Not knowing, like, sure. And then so the three guys that didn't have bands, they drew shells, and the one guy got one. But like I've heard guys like say, pulling straws, which have been rigged. So your buddy will short straw. Or like there's a plethora of other excuses as to why someone gets a band. Like, and even opening day, I was out hunting with Jordan Stone and Marco Cunha there, and we got this farm band, whatever you want to call it, right? Marco's hunt, he lined it up, whatever. So we still don't know who shot the band. It might have been me and Jordan. We're not 100% sure, whatever, right? Like, Marco, you put this on? Here you go, bud. Not heartbroken. It was a little piece of plastic. We like, cool band. We got no info on it whatsoever. It's literally a blue piece of plastic. But he's gonna wear that on his lanyard, and he's gonna remember that hunt. Like, it's. And I don't, even though I don't have the band, I'm still gonna remember that hunt, whether I have that on my lanyard or not. It's not gonna matter two shits to me.
Hey, I don't want to desensitize this story, but did you guys see the post on Facebook this week that a gentleman put up saying that he had written an animal shelter, and he had said, I know this isn't your thing, and this is here in I guess southern Ontario. I know this isn't your thing, but I've raised 3 or 4 geese right from babies, and I've marked them, and and one of them hasn't come back in a couple days, and these geese are inseparable. And then the guy goes on to talk about the band and everything, how you could identify, and some dude actually shot the bird, and he's like, oh, like how do you tell the guy, like the guy's obviously attached to these animals, right? How do you tell him?
It's like, dude, I just shot your dog, but it was
Yeah.
but it was banded.
Yeah, but like, look, Phil.
That's the bad news about Daffy.
No, but seriously, like, this guy's fucking attached to this goose.
So,
For those of you that are listening and not able to watch this, Ryan is now the color of a plum, and Phil is crying. Mark has not looked up at the camera, and Dave is just doing everything to hold it in.
I'm actually thinking about the chicken story. I don't know if I told you about that.
Oh,
So-
please tell me it's better than this one.
Well, it's about the same. Like, my neighbors, they got 10 of these like really nice showy looking chickens that lay eggs.
Showy looking chickens, eh?
Well, they're not like your plain whatever chickens. They're like special name on them and everything. I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
And so they got these 10 chickens. They don't watch the show because they're fucking half stupid anyway. But sorry, but they're raising these chickens. Well, they were just little, and they built like a 2-foot tall fence. And don't the birds just jump over the fence? So I tell them about it. I'm like, listen, your birds jumped the fence. Like, you got to get back and clean. So they went and they got them all back up. So they built the fence even higher, like maybe 4 or 5 feet tall, but they didn't put a roof on it. So don't they just jump out again? Well, I'm in the front yard. My dog Nala, who's trained to be a duck dog, it's a German wire-haired pointer. She's in the backyard. Well, doesn't one of those fucking chickens get into our yard? And I hear screaming. And I come running into the backyard. The neighbors are fucking crying. And they're sitting there bawling their eyes out about this chicken. And my dog's got it. It's dead in its mouth. And it runs up to me, sits beside me, and is presenting it to me. And I have to say, good girl. Like,
yeah,
because
of course you do.
She did exactly what, and fuck, they haven't talked to me since. Like, but what am I supposed to do? Like, oh, bad girl, you got to, no, you got a bird. Like, brought it right to me.
You got a bird. Good job, baby. I'm really upset. That's what you're looking at. Just like, good job, baby. I'm really
yeah.
upset with her. What a girl. What a girl.
Yeah.
I'm just as heartbroken. I'm just as heartbroken over this as you are. What a girl. What a girl.
I don't mean it. Good girl. Like,
It's the most Simpsons moment I've ever heard in real life.
yeah, yeah. My wife just like went into the house like I didn't know what to do, and like
Embarrassed, eh? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I gave him the chicken back.
Shit, that's
I
so
just had
funny.
another Simpson flashback when they had Pinchy the lobster.
Yeah.
He gave him a hot bath, and then he's like, he's got like a 20-pound lobster, and he's just diving into Pinchy. He's like, Pinchy would have wanted this way.
He's
Pass the butter,
crying
please.
as he's eating them.
Oh, Pinchy's so delicious.
He's dipping them in the garlic butter, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Awesome.
Drama hot bath.
Oh boy. I wanted to bring this up when Phil was talking about his talking about not shooting that shooting the snow goose, and we went down to Long Point last year. We done a camp down Punisher camp down Long Point last year, and I guess it's like most birds, right? It's all geographical and what's in your area. So for me here in Kingston with Lake Ontario right here in Hay Bay, like redheads is not a rare bird to be shooting, right? Like you
bring up like another traumatizing story.
Yeah, this is awesome, man. So
You're a dick.
so this is the second morning we're out, right? So everyone's scattered all over the place. Me and Jamie McAllister and Logan McNulty, we're down on the actual Long Point, and then the boys are all over the place. And Phil, the whole week, and all he wanted to do was shoot this redhead, right? He wanted to get his one redhead, and he finally shoots this redhead the second morning, and proud. And Jason Sears with us, right? And Jason Sears, the taxidermy guy. So Phil's snapping pictures, and Jason's not with him. Jason's on the other side of the bay, on the other side of the point. And Phil is texting him. He's like, "I got it. I got my bird. I got my redhead." And he sends a picture to Jay. He's like, "Can you do it, Jay? Can you mount this for me and get it all ready?" And Jay's like, "That's a horrible looking bird, Philly. That's like not even close to coming into full plumage. Nothing, just not even in its colors or nothing." And just
my heart.
At this exact moment, you can pinpoint when his heart actually breaks. There's a whole lot of
Would you shoot it in September, Philly, or what? Was
no,
it
it was in
buddy?
November, man.
November.
Oh, must have been a late brood, bud.
Mm.
I don't know. I remember like it was yesterday. We're sitting there. Marco Cunha was beside me. I can't remember who else was in my boat. And this thing just comes tear-assing across the bay.
Doing it
straight
juicy.
into the decoys. Couple of guys took shots, missed. Bird came in, banked hard to our left. I just sat up and just swing, boom, done. Like I pretty near jumped out of the boat chasing the fucking thing. Go grab it. I'm so happy. And then like Damien said, we had the big group chat going for like the weekend camp and stuff. And proud as a peacock, I'm posting photos. Yeah, got my redhead, so awesome. Tag Jason in like one of the comments. Yeah, dude, like, I want to get this bird to you. His response, no, Phil.
I think you can do better.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
You're poor.
tasted good.
Tasted good, eh? Yeah.
Tasted good.
Yeah, redheads are a good tasting bird, man. That was the same day we were out, and we went and done Logan McNulty was in the boat with me, and you guys never ever hunted with this kid. You got to, because he's a hoot and a half. Anyways, we're there, and it
Coot
was
and a half.
hoot and a half. Yeah,
Coot and a half.
a coot and a half. Yeah. So this is where I'm getting to. So we're there, and we're shooting birds, and then there's this big long lull, and I had never seen a coot before in my life, and I was like, "What the hell is that over there?" And Jamie McAllister looked at, he said, "That's a coot." I was like, "Oh, that's a coot," and he was like, "Yeah." Logan McNulty was like, "I'm shooting a coot." I'm like, "You're not shooting a coot, not in my boat, buddy. Don't you even friggin' think about it." For a good hour, he's like, "Come on, man, let me shoot this coot. Let me shoot." So, anyways, he ends up shooting a coot. We go pick it up. When we go back to so in Long Point, if you pay to get at one of the sites, when you leave, you got to go back through and report the birds that you've shot, right? They keep a tally of all the birds that are shot. So we pulled into the driveway and there was into the parking lot, and there was a bunch of lads from Michigan, and they were just getting ready to head out. So they stopped and they were like, "Hey, which blind were you guys in? How is it out there?" And we were telling them, and then never miss it. Who shot the coot? And Logan McNulty was like, "I did. I got it." And proud, man. Fuck, was he ever proud that he shot that coot? That was funny. Funny.
Is there any other birds you wouldn't shoot?
On dirt.
I wouldn't shoot him.
Yeah, merganser. When I'm not gonna shoot anything, I'm not gonna
I
eat.
wouldn't even disrespect my dog enough even
to
if
send
it's
them
in
out.
the crowd.
Yeah.
I wouldn't disrespect him enough to go pick up a lawn dart.
You know what? One of my greatest regrets in my waterfowling journey was not busting out of the hunt that you and Mark, when we came down here, and you and Mark, the same hunt that you and Mark shot those bands.
Yeah.
Was not busting out of the blind when I saw what I thought it was a spoonie, to be honest. When it first passed over, it flew right over my blind. I thought it was a spoonie. Later the next day when we were scouting, I don't know if you guys remember this, but 20 yards off the road was a bib mallard.
Yep.
A bib drake mallard. And I still regret it to this day. And I saw it, and it flew right over the center of me in the layout.
I thought it was a piebald.
Same thing. Bib
Oh, is
mallard.
it? Oh, same thing.
Same thing.
Okay.
When it flew over, I was like, "That's an off duck."
Yeah. I thought it was a spoonie. I thought it was
That's
a
an
big
off duck.
spoonie. Yeah.
Don't know.
And we didn't make the call on it, and it was gone.
No. And that was it. He never came back.
Nope.
So until we saw him the next day, 20 yards off the road
Yeah.
in a flooded farm field. So,
And that's where he stayed.
but I did shoot a goofy one the other day.
You did
So,
shoot a good.
yeah.
Yeah.
I hate, man, and I got to jump in on this. I hate when fellas put up screwy pictures of ducks, because I look at them and I'm like, I know there's something wrong with it, but I don't know what the hell is wrong with it. And I think I said to you, I'm like, "What is that? A black mallard hybrid or something like that?" And you're like, "No, it's a, what'd you call it?"
I called them leucistic.
Leucistic, yeah.
Yeah. I was
So like a blonde. That's
Yeah.
so, just
There's
like
different.
there's different, but like a bib mallard is actually a piebald. A blonde mallard is actually a leucistic, right? So it's the technical and the slang kind of back and forth, right? So,
but yeah, that was
There's
nice.
just-
It's impressive, because you said you had seen the bird in the air and you were like, "That's a goofy bird." Like, it's
Yeah.
impressive. Like, I'm okay with them in the air, but I'm not like, they'd have to be awful close for me to be able to say that's a goofy looking bird, like especially a mallard.
Well, it was like I didn't even have. It's kind of funny because my dad it was just me and my dad. He didn't bring a gun. He was just like, "I'm just gonna sit here and watch."
As
Status quo.
Yeah.
And he's been waterfowl hunting since before I was born. So, and I wasn't even in the blind yet. We were hunting out of an A-frame. I wasn't even in the blind. My gun was still in its sock, and this thing bowed up in the decoys. The decoys probably 20 yards out, and it bowed up and just finished. And Dad's like, he's like, "That's an off duck." He's like, I think it's a hen widgeon or something. He's like, but it looked weird. It looked weird.
Yeah.
And it's walking around the decoys, and I'm trying to look at it, and it's in amongst the goosey coys. So I unsock the gun and I put a shell in, and I just start walking out towards it. And I got within probably 15 yards of it, and she flushed up. And as soon as she flushed up, I'm like, "That is definitely weird."
Mhm.
And I shoot it and I go pick it up, and it's a hen mallard. But I'm like, but the bottom of it, the belly is completely bare white. And
Yeah.
I showed you guys the photo, and the wingtips are all frosted, and it had almost like a faded white ring around it, like a drake would, but it was clearly a hen. So pretty interesting bird. I know I've never seen or held one like that before. So
It was an early 2000s bird with the frosted tips.
the frosted tips. Yeah. I think I saw it at an LFMAO concert once. Yeah, that's where I saw that. Yeah.
That's good.
So, what are your plans for the weekend, Damien? You
Well,
asked
I'm-
all of us.
Well,
that's a good
I'm
point.
hoping that Merck will come down. If Merck doesn't come down, I'm gonna hit the pond behind the house and just get some geese. So my brother's moving. So my old man always talks about how he always wants geese, right? There's no geese back around where I am, and if there are, or they survive one day. The whole town is out trying to shoot them, I think. So Dad's been saying that he wants this goose. So I'm like, yeah. I was like, well, I wish you were closer. I'd get you a goose. So, anyways, my brother is moving back to Newfoundland from Ontario next month. So I said to him, I said, well, I'll send a goose home to you, right? My brother will stop into the house on the way. So I'll start, getting some geese to send home to Dad here. If Mark doesn't come up, I'll hit the pond behind the house. If Mark comes up, we'll go to our trusty blind that we always hit, that we do fairly well at. But yeah, either way, it'll be good. It's been a crazy week at work, and I haven't been able to get out. But a good friend of mine, who also has permission on the property behind my house, he came last week. I think it was last Friday. He came and hunted it last Friday. I've been telling him, I'm like, yeah, birds are in there. They're lifting off. They're going at this time, coming back at this time. Be here, set up here, and you should be able to get your birds, right? So I'm in the kitchen working away, and I start to hear the birds lift off, but I didn't hear a gunshot. So I'm like, oh, he must have scared them off, getting into place. And then my phone rings. He was like, hey, can you bring the dog over? I got 2 birds down. I don't want to pull the canoe out. So it was pretty awesome. So I grabbed Lander, put her collar on, and grabbed the whistle, and we walked over. And I was like, where are the birds? And he was like, one's there and one's there. Easy. And I am not exaggerating, boys. What, Mark, you seen the pond? So from where me and you set up to the extreme end, that's about 300 yards. And that's what she done 2 retrieves, and they were about 300 yards in that pond. Yeah. And so the first one was bang on. She lined up perfect, went for it perfect. She never deviated whatsoever. The second one, I had to stop her and give her a couple casts back left and right. But the goose was alive when she got to it, and so she's only a small girl, and that goose was flapping its wing, but she got it, brought it in anyway. So I'd say 2 retrieves, easy 300 yards across the water, easy. So it was pretty. And now I'm starting to really understand fellas with their dogs, because now I'm like, I don't even need to go shoot now. I'll just take the dog and just go and run the dog and just be able to watch her. Now it's just as much fun as it was shooting birds.
And you don't have to jump in the canoe and go after a bird that's flapping its wings on the water and hit it with a paddle.
Well, and that's the other thing. Like, I think about the place where Mark and I go. Like, if we got to go and chase down birds, like, our hunt's done, because there's no way we're going to be able to hide again once we leave that location, and all our our grass and stuff that we use to grass ourselves in with, that's gone. So once we got to start chasing down birds, that's it. We're done. Luckily enough, we've been we've been pretty lucky the last couple of hunts because the birds are dropping right in front of us and they don't seem to go anywhere. But if we had to start chasing down birds, our hunt is over right there.
Did we talk about that dog from Texas's opening week? Did you guys see that post?
No.
There was a so opening day down in Texas, I think it was. There was a group that they sent their dog, and the dog just took off, and they couldn't get it back. And then it was like 3 or 4 days later, 5 days later, there was a guy hunting kind of the same area, and he finds this dog, and he posted on social media, "Is someone missing a hunting dog?" And it turned out it was that guy's dog. Like, it was pretty
Wow.
nuts. Yeah.
What was it? The dog just took off to try and find a bird, or just?
I didn't catch the full story. I saw the
Right.
after post, and I saw them like reunite the dog part, but I don't know what happened with the dog retrieving or whatever. But
Wow.
it's crazy.
That how it happens in Newfoundland quite often with people and their rabbit dogs, beagles.
Yeah.
But
'Cause
Dad,
that one-
Dad had
Once they get on a scent, that's it. Good luck trying to call them back in out of it.
I mean, there's different methods people do for rabbit dogs. They'll put out you leave an article of clothing. If the dog doesn't come back, right, and you can't get it back, you leave an article of clothing, come back next morning. Sometimes the dog will be there, asleep on your article of clothing. Dad and them had a rabbit dog walk into the backyard one day, and it had a tag on it. So they looked at the tag and contacted the owner. The dog was missing for a week.
Wow.
A beagle, right? And they showed up, and they were like, their buddy was hauling out $200 cash to give the dad, find the dog, and Dad was like, no, if you ever you do the
Return the
same for
favor.
someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Return the favor. Someday,
forward.
if you ever can.
Mhm.
That's pretty good. I guess we can talk about this. We've only got about 10 minutes left. Dave and I done a quick conference call today, so we will be doing a veterans hunt. So let's just see, because we're not going to advertise it on social media or nothing like that. So we'll see how many veterans listen to the union and see if anybody reaches out to us to get on. We're going to be pretty picky over who comes for obvious reasons, but let's see if anybody reaches out. So it's going to be a good time. Going to be a small crew of veterans. Not a bunch of really experienced hunters, but it should be a good time. We've got a new guide that's operating here in Ontario, and he's got some property and wants to do something and raise some money for some veterans and stuff. So we're jumping on board, and we're going to try and pull this off. So it should be a good time. Challenger's already stepped up to the plate. So we'll see where it goes from here.
We touched on the whole small business thing earlier just a little bit about the thing, but I mean, we never really delved deep into supporting small businesses and what it means for, like, when if someone has a small business and you're always, or people are trying to always get the deal, kind of like you said.
Mm-hmm.
How does a small business make money? How are you supporting a small business if you're asking them every time you contact a different small business, hey, can you send me free shit? That's not supporting a small business, in my opinion.
I can tell you this. First when I started the brand, obviously with the conservation dinners that are on the go and people trying to, get prizes together for dinners and stuff like this, right? So the first season that I was up, I was sending everywhere from Nova Scotia to Western Ontario. You know what I mean? Like, I was sending stuff all over the place. And then the next year would get requests again from the same people. And this one person, I can remember, and now a lot of people, I must say, they were good. They supported me, like I gave them stuff and then they supported me. But there was a couple people that didn't. And some of those people never came back the second year asking, right? They asked one year and then they left me alone. But then there was this one person that asked me, hey, we're having our dinner. Think you could put together a prize package for us? And I'm like, you know, I gave you a $200 prize package last year. Not one person, and I'm not going to get into it, but it's very easy to know if someone from that dinner would have bought something from Punisher Waterfowl, right? And I was like, not one person from your dinner bought anything. Not one person from your committee bought anything. And I have not heard from you since I sent you the tracking number for the package I sent you last year. All you had to do was buy a t-shirt, and I probably would have sent you something else this year. And the response I got was, okay, man, well, maybe next year. And they just don't, yeah, no. Just don't get it, right? And I understand, like, everybody works hard for their money and everybody wants a deal, and I get it. I really do. I want deals too. But it's hard, man. It's really hard.
Well, I said, people preach buy local.
Yeah.
Right? They preach. A lot of people out there preach it. They say support the little guy, buy local. Don't. We already talked about it already tonight. But like you said, if you keep contacting these small companies, and there's a shitload of them, and every time you hey, what kind of a deal can I get on this? What kind of deal can I get on that?
Yep.
It's not exactly supporting local. You're putting a strain on these companies so that you can get a deal, right?
Yeah.
A couple years ago, when I was making turkey calls a lot, I'd get just the random requests, and then when I started getting them from like DU dinners or Delta dinners, I get requests like, hey, you want to send us a call so we can put in our dinner? And the first question I'd ask is, oh, what part of my call do you like? Do you like the fit and finish, or do you like the sound of it? And most of these guys, I had no clue who they were. Some of them, like, I'd send stuff to Perry Blanky and them because, you know, I didn't send calls, but I'd send like decoys or whatever else, kids package, something.
Yeah.
But these off the like middle of nowhere people, I'm just like,
yeah, people that never ever contacted you before.
Yeah, but I understand the other side of it, like running. Like, I'm part of the DU here, and I'm part of Delta in Port Elgin. Like, I understand the other side of it. Like, you got to reach out because you do want to have that good dinner, right?
Absolutely, but and I've been the vice president of chapters. I'm still quite active in a couple chapters around here, and I can tell you that in the committees I've been in, it's very much encouraged. Hey, listen, make sure you support this guy, and you go out and you buy something, and that's the Home Hardware and the Canadian Tire, and because they're all independently ran, right? And so you get out there and try and support these guys and girls as much as you can. I know that's the way it works in my committees, especially those big ticket. Like, I've seen some dinners lately the last couple of years, and yours is one of them, Dave. The one you guys do up there, like, it's remarkable how much social or how much small business is supporting, because in the grand scheme of things, that's who's supporting all these dinners now, is the small business. The big box stores aren't.
We don't have big box stores in my town. Like, we got Canadian Tire, but that's owned locally, like you were saying.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
And he's a good guy, and it's all small businesses here, and you know.
You guys have a U-Haul?
Kind of.
They carry big boxes.
There's a strip club the town over too, bud.
That was good, Mark. That was a good one.
That was good. That's sneaky good.
I was really wondering where you were going to go with that, because I was like, what? Are they big time players in the conservation world?
Reference, but we'll give it to him.
What'd you say, Philly?
It wasn't a Simpsons reference, but we'll give it to him.
Fair enough.
That was more like a Futurama joke.
Yeah.
I was feeling more of The Office, actually, but it was dry, which I like. That's my style.
Hey, last bit of advice we could give is people need to start watching Archer. and we need to start. We need to start that.
Archer's been out for like since
Yeah.
2015, man.
Right.
I know.
I have 10 seasons to binge watch right now.
Have you not watched any of it yet?
I just
Are you-
started.
It's
Is it
awesome.
how,
eh?
so how
You
many
know-
episodes? How many episodes are you into it?
4 or 5.
Thoughts so far?
Oh no, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, it's great.
It-
It's great.
It is
Yeah.
a
You-
funny.
yeah.
You
funny-
want to know how you get ants?
Did you guys see that one
Uh,
season where there was like the website posted and someone went to it and there was like a whole game in the background of like on the website that people could do for Archer?
No.
No, it was
No.
like the people on Reddit like, holy fuck, I don't know how they have the time to figure all this shit out, but good
they're
on them.
unemployed.
Yeah,
40
Yeah.
years
they're
old.
hippies.
They live in their parents' basement.
Mhm.
They're awesome at Warzone.
Yeah, big time.
Full of Warcraft.
Yeah, that too.
World of Warcraft. Hey, that's
Still
an
my
hour,
favorite
boys.
episode.
That's
Yeah.
60 minutes. So we'll shut her down there. Mark, last words.
It was a good show tonight, boys. This has been a great talk. I think it was pretty genuine what we were getting on with tonight, and it was a good time. I never seen you last week. I missed that show. I still haven't watched it, by the way.
No, that was a good
No.
show, man.
Even
Jeff-
after
Jeff-
I bugged you to put it up.
Jeff Coates is a man. He's one of a kind, eh?
Maybe
I'll
see-
watch
maybe-
the show.
Maybe season 2 will get him to do the voiceover. That voice. First time I heard him on the grind, I was like, "Who is that sexy
So
beast?"
it's gonna break
That
this up.
angelic
Oh,
Jeff Coates is the James Earl Jones
of
of
Waterfowl.
Waterfowl.
that is the best analogy I've ever heard in my
You
life.
heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen, on the union.
Yeah.
We're going to trademark that. Philly owns it. Nobody better steal it. Philly came up with it all by himself.
The other thing I want to point out, like that dude, he's lost 20, 26, 29 pounds since
Yeah.
like in
our-
12 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Episode 12 to episode 24, he's lost 26 or 29 pounds.
Yeah.
And then you see on his Instagram posts the delicious food he's making
I
and
know.
eating. Like,
Yeah.
holy fuck, good on him.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
dude is awesome.
I'm gonna switch my diet to Crown Royal Black.
Yeah.
He drinks Crown and eats 2 racks of ribs a week and loses weight.
Yeah.
He's doing
Still
something.
love you, Bird Dog, but
He's doing
Yeah.
something right.
Yeah. He's a man. He eats meat and he drinks whiskey.
fucking
Just-
shoots ducks.
And
He has
shoots
many
ducks.
leather-bound books.
And smells of rich mahogany. Ryan,
Mm.
I was gonna go to Phil, but Phil's mid laugh right now. So Ryan,
No, I want to go last. Actually,
oh,
a request to go last.
Philly,
Yeah.
Okay. In part to the whole support local, support small guys. Do you know how to support these guys? You pay full fucking price for what they sell. They are small. Like there's no room for error. There's no room for margin and shit. You want to support the small guy, support the local guy. Pay for shit. Don't ask for it. Pay for it. That's how you can support local, support the fucking small guy.
Pay for what, Phil?
it.
Whatever the fuck they sell.
Yeah, that's it.
Just pay for it.
Yeah, keep going, buddy. Keep going. Run to the end zone.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
CFL sized fucking field, bro.
Oh yeah. Go.
Awesome. Dave,
Oh, good episode, guys. Good. I look forward to this every week. Yeah. If anyone's looking for a Ducks Unlimited calendar, I've still got like 50 of those fucking things to sell. So
Ryan,
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna cease the bet right now.
okay,
Ah, you
that's over.
fucker. You
For-
fucker.
well.
I,
what's that?
Fair
Oh,
enough.
by
Okay,
the way,
hold on. Okay, so for our listeners, millions of them,
The millions.
Phil was the last guy to join tonight. And for those of you who tuned in last week's episode, he may have been a little under the influence, and his poetry wasn't quite at a level that we would normally speak at. However, he tended to drop a few extra F-bombs, a few extra expletives. So the four of us, prior to him joining on, is like, well, hey, I'm a gambling man. Let's run some bets here. Let's place some bets. So we placed bets on how many times Phil would swear. So we all went Price is Right rule.
You guys are
So we've got Damian
Don't
Pittman
say the F
put
word.
down-
Don't say.
Don't say what?
Don't say the F word. I might have won.
No, it's over. It's over now. It's over.
Okay.
Mark, stop keeping score. So
okay.
Damian Pittman with 15. Myself, I put down 23.
Really?
We got Donkey Kong, aka Dave, at 17. And Mark went for the solid 25. And Vanna, would you please tell us who has won and what they have won this evening?
21.
21 which makes our winner.
Ryan.
23.
He was the closest.
And not that I kept score, but I did kind of drag you on a little bit longer. So
You were pushing it.
I was like, say it again. And then you were just like,
Run to the end zone.
you were like, you went full
Guys.
Tourette's and went like,
You
shit.
pushed him, and it got you to win.
Yeah.
You guys
So-
are horrible.
So the funny thing
Oh.
is, somebody came on. I think I put a post on Facebook, just letting people know about one of the waterfowl forums, right? Just to let people know about the union, and or was it your post, Phil? Either way, and this guy comes on, and I start reading it. I posted it, yeah. And then this guy comes on and he comments, and I start reading it, and he's like, I listened to it, I'm a waterfowler and stuff, but I honestly must say that I'm a little bit offended. And I just immediately, I'm like, oh, here it is.
Here we go.
The very first complaint. And he brings up the fact that Phil's dropping F-bombs, smoking cigars, drinking liquor. And I'm like, oh my God, this is it. This is the end of the union right here. Meanwhile, it's one of Phil's buddies. And he's,
I've got no idea who this guy is.
oh, really?
No idea. He sent me a friend request. Like,
Oh,
The
I thought he
next
was your
day.
buddy.
I had no idea who this guy is. He's just a fan.
He's just a fan. Hey, and we can't blame him there, buddy. We're all fans of the Phil.
Can't get my fill of Phil.
So what does Ryan win?
Ryan, what'd you win?
Credibility. That's about it.
Lock it up.
The right to play again. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Hey, Phil.
That's horrible.
A case of Toller. Here we go.
Now, mind you, I kind of set this up like a few days in advance
Yep.
with
This is-
with the swear jar post. I'm like, you better bring a 5-gallon pail.
That's
Yeah.
And
Well,
I honestly thought I toned it down.
you actually did compared to last week.
It wasn't bad, man. I was expecting a lot more. I had 25.
Yeah, when you started out, I was like, oh my God.
Here we go.
If somebody bet like Price is Right rules and somebody bet $1 here, they're gonna
Yeah.
win. But it kicked in.
5 years. from
Dave was the
now-
winner until Ryan spoke up.
Yeah.
I just want to point out, guys, that 5 years from now, when people start actually like seeing these episodes and they're wondering, like, man, why didn't I come across this when it first came out? It's because we're on the restricted mode on YouTube just because of Phil.
And Damien. And
Our
Damien.
demographic went from
Hey,
this to
Damien's been good tonight.
Yeah, but yeah, you don't
Uh,
even know what Damien's saying with the accent. So come on.
It's true, especially when it gets
This
on
is
the
true.
whiskey.
This is true.
I'm going to make it my mission next Thursday.
Okay.
Okay. What's the
No.
bet? What's the bet?
to
What's the bet?
not
Yeah.
Swear.
Okay. So
Okay, let's make
I
a
already
bet
know
right
I set
now. So
myself
if
up
you
to
swear once, what do the four of us get?
Okay, sorry, no F-bombs.
yeah, no F bombs.
No,
You can
that's,
see.
that's all I
What about
counted
S?
tonight.
What
Yeah.
about S and the SHIT here?
No, that's allowed.
Only
That's allowed?
That's
Yeah.
permitted. Yeah.
Okay.
No F bombs.
Okay.
No F-bombs.
So if you drop one F bomb, what do the four of us obtain?
I will figure something out. You guys
No,
will be compensated accordingly.
Okay.
I don't know
Got-
how, but you will be compensated.
Oh, Mark has an idea. Mark
Yeah,
has-
but Ryan can't play.
Next episode, no F-bombs.
Okay.
this is. Have you seen the Howard Stern movie? This
Yeah.
is going to turn into like. Remember when they're not allowed to say like certain words and they're like, it's a tree that's on the long, and It ends in willow. What's the first word? Phil, can you say that? That's what we're gonna fucking do here. Hey Phil, what's a word that rhymes with truck?
We're just gonna bait
Ooh.
Phil.
Oh
all
yeah,
night.
it'll be just bait all night.
Yeah, Phil, what do you think about guys who shoot coots?
Yeah.
Boys, again, this is an awesome episode. I love it when we have our guests, but I love it when it's just us that sit around and talk. And I hope the people that are listening have just as much fun laughing as we do, because it truly is a good
Even
laugh.
if it's at my expense.
Hey, it's at all of our expense, buddy. Don't you kid yourself. I'm sure even when that guy came to me at the boat launch, he was like, "That's the podcast guy. I recognize that voice anywhere." There's not many. Yeah. Again, everybody, we say it every week, but thanks so much for listening and following and doing the things you're doing and spreading the word and trying to get the name of the union out there as much as you can. We are, as advertised, just some regular dudes that just love one another's company, and we just love hanging out, talking, hunting, and picking on Phil. Until next week, maybe it'll be just us again. Maybe we'll have a guest. We'll see. Anyways, big love. Be safe, everybody. Have a good weekend. Enjoy your hunting. Did you have something, Mark?
Nope. Just waving my Sharpie around so Phil can see it.
Big
That's
love,
why-
everybody. Have a wonderful weekend and be safe out there. Ciao.